Hey, how are you? My name is Daniel Calderon and welcome back to Corner Talks. Being grateful. How is it that we can be grateful, especially during these uncertain times? There is a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of depression, there's a lot of pain amongst us. And sometimes through that, it clouds our way of seeing the positives in our life. Negativity is very powerful and can shroud our vision towards optimism, towards a better future. But a lot of people fail to realize that there are things going on in their life, there are things that will happen in their life that they should be grateful for. And by being grateful, it'll raise your vibrations, it'll raise your positive energy, and more good things will come to you. A lot of people might say, well, I'll be positive or I'll be grateful once things happen. For example, I'll become rich, or I'll get that promotion, or maybe become famous. And that's not the way to look at things. That's not the right attitude. The best way is to say right now, right here at this moment while you're watching this video, what are you grateful for? Now, these are some ways that have helped me, and I'm sure can help you feel more grateful about who you are, people in your life, and ultimately the life that you're living. One of the easiest and fastest ways to feel grateful is by just writing it down. Every morning and every night, I take a page and I write down all the things that I'm grateful for. Whether it's a person in my life, whether it's something materialistic like a phone or a camera that I can use to express my vision, to enhance my creativity, my editing programs. Anything you can think of, write it down. No matter how small, no matter how insignificant, it is important to you. And by doing this, you're rewiring your brain to think positive, to destroy any negative thoughts that come your way. Now you might think, oh, there's not much in my life to be grateful for. And I'm sure, I don't know your situation, I don't know your current environment, but I'm pretty sure that if you're watching this video, one of the things you can be grateful for is internet access. How many people around the world do not have access to free Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi in general? As a visual person, I enjoy seeing the list get longer and longer as I write down all the things that I'm grateful for. And I go through, the most materialistic things, like I said, to my camera, to my editing programs. Then I go to my bed. I'm thankful that I have a bed that I can sleep in, a nice home. But then I also go to the people that I care about and I love, my family, the fact that they're around me, that they're safe, and that they're healthy, especially during this pandemic. These are things to be grateful for. Now, instead of writing what you're grateful for or thinking of all the positive things in your life, I'm asking you now to do maybe the opposite. Why don't you reflect on the bad, reflect on the negative moments in your life? And you could be asking, well, why would I do such a thing if you just told me to think positive and enhances, my energy and rewires my brain? Well, when we think back on the negative, when we think back on the bad things in our life, if we really focus on them and we really target them, we can think of all the times that we overcame certain situations. If you made it this far in your life, I'm pretty sure that there are a couple of moments at least where you have struggled, where you have gone through pain, where you have gone through some kind of emotional torture, and you've come out on the other side better and stronger. You might not think that now, but really think back to that situation. A while back, I lost my job and I felt like the world was collapsing. I did not know where I was. I did not know where I was headed. I felt nauseous, I was sick to my stomach, and I really did, for the first time in my life, feel fear. What was gonna happen to me next? And I took the time to sit myself down and realize, what do I want? What does Daniel want in his life? I think back to the time when I lost that job. Why? Because I wanna remind myself what I was capable of. I looked at how I was able to rise above the situation. We really need to start telling people that we care about, telling people that enhance our lives, that make them better, we are grateful for them. I can't tell you, there are so many people in my life where when I sit down and reflect, that have made me a better person, that have strengthened me, that have, improved what I can do. And by telling them, by a simple phone call, a text, or just when you see them, thank you for doing this, or I'm really grateful for what you did to me. Thanks for showing up to my birthday. I don't know, just something so simple as that. It will do wonders for not only the person, but yourself. I would even say go above and beyond. And instead of just telling them over a phone call, over a text, why don't you spend time with them? Especially if it's a good friend or maybe a family member. Go out, go for a nice walk, grab a coffee, and just spend an hour talking, catching up. By doing that, you're showing them you're grateful to have them in your life because you're taking the time out of your day, out of your busy schedule, to spend time with them. We don't always have to get paid. And sometimes volunteering your talents, your strengths, giving back to your community is one of the best ways to be grateful. Help out at a community center or a daycare, a homeless shelter, some kind of, nonprofit organization, anything that is of interest to you, any industry, any community or team you'd like to be a part of. For me, I volunteer at the Toronto International Film Festival. It is part of the film community, the film industry. There are like-minded people there, and it is my way to feel connected to what I'm doing. But it is also a way for me to be grateful for the business itself, for the people that make it possible, for the people that help me to dream and realize my vision. When people ask me, why do you volunteer? Why do you give up your time and not get paid to join the Toronto International Film Festival? And I said to them, there is nothing that brings me more joy than to know that I'm contributing, that I'm helping out in any which way I can to something that I care so much about and that has done so much for my life, both, from a personal and professional level. And after all the ways that I've mentioned to feel grateful, they don't do it for you. I want you to just remember one thing. Realize that there is no such thing as perfection. What is perfection? Perfection to me is that every single human being on earth decides with no doubt that something is perfect. Now you know, and I know, that there is not one thing on this planet that every single person has decided it is perfect, flawless, there's nothing to be improved upon. We as human beings always find ways, always find things to change, to improve, to enhance. The Mona Lisa itself, a beautiful piece of art, the most popular painting of all time, yet the millions of people that have seen it believe that it is perfect. But can I tell you something? There are people like my mom, there are people like my friend down the street that do not care about the Mona Lisa, that think it looks like trash. Yes, they have called the Mona Lisa one of the greatest pieces of art of all time trash. Why? Because perfection doesn't exist. Perfection is an idea. It is not definitive, it is subjective. Now, how does this relate to feeling grateful? Well, I know for a fact because it's happened to me. When we're on social media, when we're talking to people and we hear all the great things that are happening in their lives, we always think, oh, their life is perfect and our lives aren't. But guess what? They're going through stuff just as much as we're going through stuff. They went through their downfalls just as much we're going to or have experienced our downfalls. There is nothing wrong with your life. There is nothing wrong with what you're experiencing. There is nothing perfect about what is going to happen in your life. Everything just happens. And it is our job to interpret them, but it is our job to find what it is to be positive for. Thank you again for joining me on another Corner Talks. I really hope this video has helped you to feel more grateful about the things in your life. I hope you guys are starting to write down all the things that you're thinking about. Maybe things have come to mind as you watch this video. Maybe there are people you want to call up right now and just say, hey, thanks for being in my life. Thanks for always doing the things you do. If you agree or disagree to the ways in which to feel grateful, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you too can become the best version of who you are. Take care.